Okay, one more of these examples here. We look at what's the maximum number of zeros. We've got 3. We're going to plug it into our graph. So we have 6x cubed minus 25x squared plus 2x plus 8. We graph it. Okay, we can see the 3. Let's check them out, see if they're on our table here. Now, unfortunately, there's only actually one we're going to be able to see, which is at 4. So our calculator 0 is only at 4. So that's one we have to use when we do some synthetic division here. So we'll have 6, negative 25, 2, and 8. Bring down the 6, multiply to get 24, negative 1, negative 4, add to get negative 2, negative 8, and 0 as we wanted. So this gets us 6x squared minus x minus 2. So when we want to factor this, since we've got 6x squared, our first terms are either going to be 1x and 6x or 3x and 2x. So you might have to do some messing around to figure out which one it's going to be. Again, guess and check is a total valid option for factoring. That's the nice part about factoring, is that you can check your answer to make sure it works. The key here then is that the last numbers have to multiply to get negative 2 and add to get, so then we also have to give the terms to add to get negative 1 in the middle. Since the last two numbers have to multiply to get negative 2, our options are negative 1 and 2 or negative 2 and 1. This is where it might take some guessing and checking, but these are the factors you should come up with. So finding the rational zeros, we already know 4. We have 3x minus 2 is 0. So we've got a value at 2/3. And then 2x plus 1 equals 0. We have a value at negative 1/2. So then writing it as a function, we can just leave it the way we had it. 3x minus 2, 2x plus 1, and then the x minus 4 there. So we can solve real-world problems using a similar idea here. A pen company is designing a gift container for a new premium pen. They've designed a pyramidal box with a rectangular base. The base width is 1 inch shorter than the base length, and the height is 3 inches taller than 3 times the base length. The volume then is 6 cubic inches. So the important information is that the base width must be 1 inch shorter than the base length. The height must be 3 inches taller than 3 times the base length, and has to have a volume of 6. So if we let x represent the base length in units, then the base width will be x minus 1, since it has to be 1 inch shorter. And the height is 3x plus 3, because it has to be 3 inches taller than 3 times the base length. Here we can pull out a 3 to get x plus 1. So the key thing you have to know with the pyramid, volume is 1/3 big B, which represents the area of the base, times height. So they're not going to tell you this, but they expect you to use it here on the homework. So 1/3. So the base is a rectangle. So area is length times width, and then times height. Ooh. That should be x plus 1, should equal 6. So the 3 and the 1/3 multiply out to become 1. Once you distribute in, you'll end up with 1x cubed minus 1x, and then subtracting the 6 over gets you there. So from here, we've got x cubed minus x minus 6 equals 0. It's going to have a max of 3 roots. If you plug it into your calculator, you should find a factor at 2. So that tells us then that x should be 2. So the length width is going to be 2 minus 1, which is 1. And the height is going to be 9. So if we work through one more of these, a box company is designing a new rectangular gift container. The marketing department has designed a box with a width 2 inches shorter than the length and the height 3 inches taller than the length, and the volume is 56. So if we call our length x, then the width would be our length minus 2, and our height would be the length plus 3. So if we're talking about volume, length times width times height. For a rectangular prism, if you distribute, excuse me, x plus 3, you get x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x squared minus 6x. Combining like terms, x cubed plus x squared minus 6x. Now remember they said the volume is supposed to be 56. So that's all equal to that. We can move that 56 over to the other side. Get x cubed plus x squared minus 6x minus 56 equals 0. Again, this is where you want to look in your calculator. Find where you're going to cross the x-axis. In this case, it only crosses at the one spot at 4. So that means our length is 4. Our width would then be 2 inches, and the height would be 7 inches. So those are the dimensions.